In this edition of Ultrasound,
Thug life, thug life.
the man,
I'll always be a troublemaker to some people because they don't like me. But some people be like, he's cool, he's okay.
the music, the movies, the poet.
You would marvel at just seeing a rose grow through concrete.
See what made this man a legend on tribute to Tupac Shakur, the rose that grew from concrete. Before all his fame, fortune, and controversy, Tupac Shakur was first and foremost a poet.
If you walk by a street and you was walking on concrete and you saw a rose growing out of concrete, even if it had messed up petals and it was a little, to the side, you would marvel at just seeing a rose grow through concrete. So why is it that when you see some ghetto kid grow out of all of the dirtiest circumstances and he can talk and he can sit across from you, make you smile, make you cry, make you laugh, all you can talk about is my dirty rose, my dirty stems, and how I'm leaning crooked to the side. You can't even see that I came up out of that.
The Rose That Grew from Concrete is a stunning collection of poetry penned by a young Tupac Shakur before he was famous.
It's his words, his most intimate thoughts, stuff that he didn't put in rhymes.
I think it's fantastic. I think it's what will shock a lot of people only used to his records. They'll be shocked to think that he has that kind of a sensitive nature about so many different kinds of things.
The Rose That Grew from Concrete Volume 1 is the album version of selected poems from the book and features a diverse collection of poets, actors, and musicians interpreting his words.
What it represents is our understanding of who Tupac is, and Tupac's life was diverse, and his friends were diverse, and his lifestyle was diverse, and so I think it's appropriate.
One of the most provocative artists of our time, Shakur would later be loved, hated, feared, and idolized. But he was once just a young kid growing up in a turbulent atmosphere.
Tupac lived a very complicated life.
Literally born in very revolutionary times.
He was a baby Black Panther.
Political prisoners run through my tree like a mother.
We taught him that he could not rely on the U.S. government. He could not rely on City Hall. He could not rely on the police. He had to rely on himself.
So he has all this history and certain anger within him, toward the system. And his whole thing was he was going to get the people in the nation together.
Tupac inherited his mother's Panther ideal. In many of his songs, he fiercely rallied Black youth by addressing the struggles faced daily in African American communities.
I believe that I'm a natural born leader. I don't really take orders. I can take orders because I'm a good soldier, but I like to give orders.
Tupac stood for all the people who have no voice, from the community.
Lower class, that's who we was trying to reach.
Pac wanted to reach the brothers who don't even read.
I represent the hardcore, grab at you, no holds barred, no prisoners, relentless, hustle to the early morning, hustler type of person.
He said simply, listen to my voice, listen to what I'm saying, and let's do something about it.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world. I don't know how to change it. But I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody's going to clean it up.
As a young man in Baltimore, Tupac acted in Shakespeare plays and attended a performing arts high school. A poetic soul who was also the proud son of a true revolutionary.
From ancient African civilization, poets went from village to village, and that's how stories and messages and lessons were taught.
Poetry was a part of Tupac's everyday life, as was the theater, as was every type of music.
His mother, Fanny, exposed him to a lot of artistic worlds outside of the music business.
I always saw Pac scribbling, but I didn't know he was writing poetry. I thought that was just a verse to the next song he was working on.
It's a very fine line between just a poem or a rap. They're really the same thing.
He told me, no rappers is poets, right? That's all we is, ghetto poets.
Every word here came right out of his soul.
Maybe his poetry was a little more sacred to him. Because he never was like, Rich, check out this poem I wrote. I think he probably did that with the lady.
Probably the biggest romantic that there ever was, and didn't want anybody to know that.
It was really neat to look at the way he wrote it down. Not only, what he was saying, but how it was written. And a lot of the words he substituted with little symbols, like the eyeball for the word eye. Man after my own heart.
I don't think Tupac worked to be famous, he worked to be heard.
Pac is just real. This how I feel, this what I'm going through.
His poetry is very revealing. If people knew him outside of his public image and knew him as a friend, this is kind of the Tupac that we knew.
It wound up that he had all of these influences and the understandings of life, and he saw beyond just one town. And that usually helps any MC, much less a freedom fighter and a prophet and a guru like Tupac.
Poetry and Panther pride motivated Tupac and helped him overcome adversity. One of the most moving songs on The Rose That Grew from Concrete, Volume 1, is Can You See the Pride in the Panther? Recorded by Mos Def, it is based on Tupac's poignant poem about the Black Panther movement that shaped his life.
I spoke to Mos Def and I told him what Pac was trying to talk about here, which was the life of women, Panthers, who had to keep going and raise children and keep working once the men were dead in jail or wherever. And within 15 minutes, Mos Def had gone back into the studio and this was laid down.
Can you see the pride in the Panther as he glows with splendor and grace, toppling obstacles placed in the way of the progression of his race? Can you see the pride in the Panther as she nurtures her young all alone? The seed must grow regardless of the fact that it's been planted in stone. Shine bright like the rays of the sun, keep high like a noonday begun. Said carry on like a new day begun, a new day begun, a new day begun, 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 begun. Whoa! Power to the people, keep it. Power to the people. Love is people power. Love is people power. Love is people power. Love is people power. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. You never be defeated. You never be defeated. You never be defeated. You never be defeated.
He really didn't like having to wear the African outfit at first.
Tupac, go ahead and rock this.
Now I clown around when I hang around with the underground.
But in the end, it was kind of like a weird prophecy because Pac wound up being one of those African kings in the end.
We the underdog, the ghetto. That's what I'm from. And I know that seems real funny because everybody is saying that these days. And I want to distinguish myself and say, you know, I'm down. I mean, I'm down. And you're going to see throughout my career, do certain things that I do to prove that I'm down. You know what I'm saying?
The rose that grew from concrete.
Did you hear about the rose that grew from a crack in the concrete?
Proving nature's laws wrong, it learned to walk without having feet.
Funny it seems, but by keeping its dreams, it learned to breathe fresh air.
Long live the rose that grew from concrete when no one else even cared. Yeah, that's hot.
The concrete is the ghetto, and the children in the ghetto are the roses, you know what I mean? And we gotta grow up out of that.
It's really an inspirational message to young people.
Out of this barren and impoverished land, you can still surround yourself in a way with some light that protects you from that and grow.
Tupac Shakur's work touched people from all walks of life, as reflected by the performers on the tribute CD, The Rose That Grew from Concrete, Volume 1. They range from actors Malcolm Jamal Warner and Jasmine Guy, to activists Geronimo G. Jaga and Sonia Sanchez, to hip-hop stars Mos Def, Dead Prez, and the Outlaws. During Tupac's life, hip-hop became the voice of his generation, and early on, Tupac was eager to play his part. During the mid-'80s, Tupac befriended Oakland rap group Digital Underground and joined them on tour as a roadie.
He did his job to the fullest.
He did whatever it was that we asked him to do.
We never had to worry about the cases that he was responsible for.
But he wasn't satisfied.
Eager to get on stage, Tupac put his hard-edged persona aside and made his public debut as a Humpty dancer.
He would do the little goofy Humpty dancing.
I do the Humpty Hump, I do the Humpty Hump.
knowing who he was and who he turned out to be, I'm sure that was a shot to his ego.
He soon got his chance to shine in Same Song.
Tupac, go ahead and rock Now this. I clown around when I hang around with the underground.
He really didn't like having to wear the African outfit at first, but in the end, it was kind of like a weird prophecy that he wound up wearing that.
I remain still the same, because it's the same song.
And Pop wound up being one of those African kings in the end.
In 1991, he released his debut solo album, Tupacalypse Now.
A to the O to the M to the I to the E, I'm down to the E-N-D.
And became a star. Tupac's versatile rap style mirrored his complex personality. One song radiated hope and love.
I give a holler to my sisters on welfare. Tupac cares, if don't nobody else care.
And the next, bitterness and despair.
Weary, so many tears, I'm suicidal, so don't stand in me. My every move is a calculated step to bring me closer to embracing early death.
He could be as sexist as the best of them.
Your body is banging, baby, I love the way you're flowing. Time to give it to Daddy Sugar, now tell me how you rolling.
But his lyrics also showed empathy for women in a tough place.
Now Brenda's belly's getting bigger, but no one seems to notice any change in her figure. She's 12 years old and she's having a baby.
He was getting letters from women who were in that same situation, and I'll just never forget him expressing to me how he actually wanted to go out and make a personal visit to each one of these women.
We got to love our sisters, and we got to be down for each other. That's priority.
To have the ability to go from activist
We gotta start making changes. Learn to see me as a brother instead of two distant strangers.
to thug
Now I'm back to set the record straight. With my AK, I'm still a thug that you love to hate.
to sensitive, very sensitive person.
And there's no way I can pay you back. But my plan is to show you that I understand. You all appreciate it.
That's what made him so interesting, because he's volatile. You never know what was going to jump out next.
Tupac had integrity. He talks about whatever came to his mind, and he lets you see the full character. And that is what made him such a great star, and also that's what made him, gave him the ability to write, such profound songs.
Tupac knew how to make the poetry of his words come to life. He was a powerful performer, whether it was on the stage or on the screen.
You can't find somebody that can really rhyme, get in the studio and get down, and also be a good actor.
He also wasn't afraid to explore the darker sides of his character, as he did with brilliant intensity as Bishop in the violent coming-of-age film, Juice.
Look at this. The brother finally decides to stand up like a man and throw down.
The best actors always have to dig deep down inside themselves. A lot of times what they give you on screen is part of them, and that's something that Tupac has always done.
He was an incredible actor.
He was so believable, so convincing.
You got in that movie house and you sat down and you slid down in your seat and you believed what he was doing.
Check yourself, Q. You gotta snatch some collars and let them know you there to take them out anytime you feel like it.
Damn, if Pac was still here, what kind of roles would he be playing now?
He'd be one of the greatest actors of all time.
If he had never gotten that fame in the music business, he still could have come through the ranks in the movies and done the work that he did.
Tupac played a hip-hop thug on and off screen.
Chill out. Pac, to me, turned into the people he played in the movies.
If you open your mouth against me, I will get you. No matter how much time they give me, believe me, I will be free and you will see me.
He knew that he had to win the people over and speak to them on a level that they understand. Meaning speak to them on the street level, let them know that everything that they're going through and that they're dealing with, he's gone through and he deals with and he's dealing with. And I think he did that.
In his poetry and music, for better or worse, Tupac always was determined to keep it real.
Tupac stood for the truth.
People want to hear the real truth, and as they get to know you more, they can tell when you're lying.
For somebody to be just dead straight honest and truthful, you can't forget him.
He was true, and that's why you hear him say he was the realest that they knew. He was for real.
He wasn't afraid to reveal the ugliness of street life and paint an honest portrait of ghetto violence and drug addiction.
You are ripping us apart. The poem itself is such an eloquent description of a family unit being destroyed by crack cocaine. It's just a powerful, powerful condemnation of the effects of our incorrect decisions.
My hero has been defeated by you.
My hero has been defeated by you. Now what can I do? Now what can I do? Watch as you destroy us. Watch as you destroy us. And our love is finally through. And our love is finally through. I know the worst is here. I know the worst is here. I feel it in my heart. Feel it in my heart. You got in the circle. You got in the circle. Now you tearing us apart. Now you tearing us apart.
You can watch me when I fall, when I cry, when I get shot, when I go to jail, when I die. You can watch it, and that's what you're gonna do.
Excuse me, but Lady Liberty needs glasses, and so does Mrs. Justice by her side.
A creative heart obsessed with satisfying this dormant and uncaring society.
He's bragging about his new Jordans. The baby just ran out of milk.
Just wait. Your heart till your heart turns cold, 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 cold.
The release of The Rose That Grew from Concrete, Volume 1, comes 4 years after Tupac Shakur's untimely death. Yet Tupac had a vision that he would not live long, a thought he frequently expressed in interviews.
I feel so confident and so sure about the man that I am that you can watch me. You can watch me when I fall, when I cry, when I get shot, when I go to jail, when I die. You can watch it.
In his music, and most dramatically, in his videos. His premonitions were based in part on having been shot in 1994. Though he survived the incident, he came to accept the possibility of his life ending sooner rather than later.
I know how it's going to be when I die. It's going to be no noise. You're going to hear people screaming. I'm going to fade out.
He was saying like he didn't have a lot of time to do what he was trying to do, but he just knew he had to do it.
I believe that God gave him a beginning date, June 16th, 1971. I truly believe that God gave him September 13th, 1996. And in between, I believe that God provided for Tupac all that he needed to do the things that he was sent here to do.
He was a very talented person. He was real fast in the studio and knew exactly what he wanted.
Pac could write a song in 10 minutes.
He could write 2 lines every 5 to 6 seconds.
Might get an album a day out of that guy.
He said all I ever wanted to do was be in a movie and make an album and get my message heard. And I've done that already.
Most of the events that happened in his life, he knew were going to happen.
It was like until Pac did what he had to do, you couldn't put that man down.
On September 7th, 1996, in Las Vegas, Tupac was shot again while riding in the passenger seat of death row owner Suge Knight's BMW.
He's suffering from multiple gunshot wounds to the chest and also has a wound to his thigh, and he remains in critical condition. He's in the intensive care unit.
I didn't really know if he'd make it or not.
You know, he'd been shot before, so that was a miracle that he survived that. And he's so young, you just think he'll make it again. His body won't be able to fight this one.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna pull through. Yeah. You know, last thing I thought they was gonna be saying Pac was dead.
I'm here at University Medical Center in Las Vegas, where at 4:03 this afternoon, Tupac Shakur was pronounced dead.
He was just 25 years old. Fans could not believe that what Tupac had prophesied was now a tragic reality, and hip-hop mourned its fallen hero.
It hurt like hell when Tupac got shot. That's a brother I really loved.
I can't even believe that. You know what I'm saying? That the whole thing went down like it went down and he's not here no more.
I was very saddened, truthfully, at the tragic and senseless loss of such a multi-talented young man.
I remember tears started coming out. It was like a brother, you know, that I ain't never meet, you know, that passed.
When he died at 25, he was done. He finished what he came to do, and it was time.
He's in heaven and he happy where he at, he's safe where he at. He ain't gotta worry about no more, nothing no more. He's all right, he at peace with himself.
But his words live on. In one poem from The Rose That Grew from Concrete, called In the Event of My Demise, Tupac foresaw a day when he would pay tribute to all of those who shared his vision and believed in him.
In the event of my demise,
he's definitely a legend.
When my heart can beat no more, I hope I die for a principle.
He was like the voice of our generation at the time, like a Marvin Gaye.
Or a belief that I lived for.
In the event of my demise, don't shed no tears. I share my wisdom with the world. They'll know I was here, know I was clear. Everything I said, I meant.
He's the Black Elvis. Yo, I seen Pac. He out there. He's somewhere. You know what I mean? And when you got that much love where somebody don't want to let you go, you know how much of a mark he is.
Don't look at me as a stranger, I'm one of your own. We was raised in concrete and grew as a rose. Still I rise, but never get a chance to fly. Mama, please don't cry in the event of my demise. In the event of my demise, can't breathe no more. Hope I die for a principle, something I live for. Dying before my time, feeling shadows of death. Trying to fulfill all my dreams before I reach my death. Came to grips with the possibility, the world killing me.
He spoke something that's universal, so it's gonna last for all generations. You know what I mean? It's not gonna just be for the 90s or be for rap music. It'll outlast rap music. If rap music ever die, I don't think it'll ever die, but if it does, they'll still talk about Tupac.
I absolutely believe that in 15 to 25 years, that Tupac's influence will help a student get through a hard day, a child who is in an abusive situation understand that they can still take control of their lives and live a good life. I believe that his work will help that to happen.